Good morning, everybody. Hey, I'm glad to be back in the office. Good to see you folks today. I'm glad you were able to join us as we get ready to start. Actually, we started yesterday, but hey, this is the last full week of July. Hard to believe. And we are in the heat of earnings season as we prepare for what is coming our way. So hopefully soon we will be up and running and know exactly what this quarter is going to leave us. So as you can see right now, we have a lot of red out there, and that's what we'll talk about. Some misses, some hits, and where we go from here. Again, thanks for joining us, and I really hope you'll stick around when Dave and I discuss what's happening this last week of July.
0.7 there. Good morning. It's 8:39 here, 21 now before 9. Check in on your money and see how Wall Street's treating your retirement funds this morning, shall we? Yes, the man is back downtown Sebring. We head to the offices of Statler Financial Services where Phillip Statler is standing by. Phillip, we're glad to have you back. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Dave, and I'm glad to be back. Had a great weekend, a little downtime, and but glad to be back in the office and moving forward with a lot of earnings today.
Oh, boy, we're right in the meat of earnings season and a whole lot of household names coming up. A couple of them in the news, not necessarily reporting. One of the ones that hit us locally that's really interesting. Story came out, there's a private equity firm that's preparing an offer to buy out J.C. Penney out of bankruptcy, and they also happen to be the private equity firm that has an interest in Belk. And the rumbling has it anyway, we may keep J.C. Penney in business, but just as a part of Belk. We're still going to have one store down at the mall, obviously, because we've got a Belk down there. But seeing Penney's get saved is good news for retail in general.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out, because if you don't have two stores, then you're still getting rid of some folks, I'm afraid, on the unemployment front. So it's going to be interesting to see how they plan that out. And because that merchandise is two ends of the spectrum, right? Belk's is usually a little higher grade, a little higher quality of merchandise compared to Penny's. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work that out.
Yeah, I've always positioned the two stores as Belk being upper mid and Penny's being mid to slightly below midline. They're in the same zip code, but not exactly the same lines. You're absolutely right. And for the towns like ours that have two locations, but that both Belk and Penny's in the same place, definitely one store will disappear. The story I read was that the Penny name would disappear to make Belk a much bigger chain, but for at least a few locations, that's got to be good news in general, although not the ideal world keeping Penny's open under their own name.
You're right. Anything that helps absorb at least some of the stores and keep some things open would be a good thing. But I guess that means that the mall owners who are looking at buying Penny's as a way to keep a tenant in their store, I guess that must be kind of off the table now.
That's true. That plan kind of goes south then. I forgot about that. That was a rumbling when the bankruptcy first happened. The other tidbit that I was reacting to, and this was something that kind of surprised both of us, Kodak stock is skyrocketing over yesterday and today off of a news item that kind of made me sit up and take notice because I didn't know they were into this. They got a $765 million government-backed loan for drug research. If you'd ever wondered whatever happened to the film company, figured that they were a lost issue, that Rochester was all boarded up and Kodak doesn't exist anymore. No, they are evidently successfully morphing into a whole new line of work. Now, they're now listed as a chemical and prepared paper company instead of a camera company. I just found that intriguing.
It is interesting. And it looks to me, as I dive in a little deeper to that article you saw, is they're getting hired or they're getting loan money to work on the medical supply chain to get it fixed. And I guess there's some issues there that the government's not happy with, and they think that Kodak can come in and get it fixed. We'll have to wait and see about that.
Any lifeline for a company that's in a business that has not been well treated over the last few years, film might be a good thing. Would happen. Other things, it's kind of a quiet day as far as macro stuff. Consumer confidence probably is going to loom large. That measurement is due to come out from the government about 10 this morning. Yesterday was a darn good day. The Dow was up by 114 points. S&P was up by a little under 24. NASDAQ really recovered. I was flippantly saying yesterday morning, Phillip, it's amazing what happens when the U.S. and China aren't throwing rocks at each other for 24 hours. It was up by 173 points yesterday. I'm not sure the quietude between the U.S. and China will continue, but it helped NASDAQ yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a big bump yesterday. Almost, I mean, it was getting close to 2%. So that's a big deal for that index, especially as high as it's been.
Absolutely. Whole bunch of reports coming out in some vital industries as well as we get right into the meat of earnings season. What do you figure the biggest household name that you saw on the listing was?
You know, there's several that are pretty household names today. McDonald's, though, who doesn't know what a McDonald's is, right? They reported they came in at 66 cents a share. That was a little less than expected. They were expected to come in at 74 cents a share. Revenue, though, was above forecast. Get this, their same store sales were expected to be down 22.8%. They were down 23.9%. So a little bit of a miss there. Here in the United States, the same thing, a little bit of miss on same store sales also. So they're down 0.6%, which is a lot better than when I first looked at it. It was down over 2%. So
I'm honestly surprised their decrease in sales was that large. Just looking at the lines of the drive-through, even during the shutdown, the places looked absolutely jammed. Close the dining rooms. It really does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does. You know, that's, yeah. I mean, out yesterday, just kind of looking at some of the drive-throughs, they were all slam full. It makes it look busier sometimes than what it really is, you know, when you look at it.
I expect so. Other reports, I got a couple that really hit me. One of the things is not a household name because we don't have them building a lot of homes around here, but D.R. Horton, big home builder, reported, and boy, did they beat the street.
Oh, man, did they? They, you know, they came in 42 cents ahead of estimates. They came in at $1.72, and that was 42 cents better than expected. Revenue was well above the Wall Street forecast. You know, here's what they're attributing it to, which makes sense to me. Increased buyer urgency because they see these mortgage rates so low right now, and there's a limited supply of homes. So people want to scoop up those low interest rates right now, and that's helping D.R. Horton, and they're up 2.5% this morning.
And anytime a publicly traded home builder has a beat like that, the thing that really hit me as an anomaly was they were actually up in revenue year over year, which we haven't seen much at all lately.
Yeah, and they will actually open at a new 52-week high also.
No big surprise that it'd be a 52-week high when you can actually beat last year's numbers in the middle of this mess. So
Exactly.
Good news for at least one of the big home builders. Other names on your list?
So let's just keep kind of with the home improvement, home building kind of industry. And we got Sherwin-Williams. They came in and had a huge increase too. They were expected to come in at $5.85 a share. They came in at $7.10. A huge beat for them too. You know, they're seeing obviously more and more people, home improvement, doing it themselves from the paint stores, as well as contract painters that are out there in the construction industry buying more and more paint. So they're up a little over 3% this morning. They will open at a new 52-week high also.
Wow, I just noticed they're a really high-priced stock too. $645 a share. Not many companies get that high.
No, they don't. And I think they do that on purpose to keep their share value up there. So
some companies try to keep their share price low for the sake of affordability. Others like keeping it high for the sake of prestige. Price per share doesn't really mean that much except for the investor's appearance thereof, but that one kind of caught my eye. Hey, yesterday in the futures market, I was noting that 3M was going crazy, and it got a lot of the credit for the pre-market increase in the Dow. Folks had high expectations, but then 3M reported they kind of kissed their sister, I gather, huh?
Oh, they did. They missed by about 2 cents a share, and revenue also missed by a little bit. So, you know, they're blaming obviously COVID-19 had a significant impact on them. and they're trading down still. Well, they're up yesterday. By the end of the day, they're up 2%. They're giving back a little bit more than that right now. They're down 2.6%.
Don't let the rumor out you're going to have a good report when you're not, right?
Right. Yep. So then let's go to the medical field a little bit. We've got Pfizer. They beat by 12 cents a share. Revenue also was ahead of expectations. On another note, Pfizer has a partner, BioNTech, and they are in the late stage studies of their COVID-19 vaccine, and they're hoping that they'll be able to submit that here shortly to the FDA. They're trading up today 2.8%.
That's the second company that's getting into the phase 3 stuff. We had the note yesterday morning that Moderna was starting a 30,000 person test on it. So it's good to hear progress on the vaccine count.
It is. And then LabCorp, you got to believe they are beating the pants out the market right now.
I got to assume they're busy.
Yeah. So they beat by $1.57 a share. I'm not sure how the analysts got that one so wrong, but yeah, huge beat there. Revenue was also way above forecast. Obviously, they're one of the beneficiaries of COVID-19. Testing volume continues to go high. They're still withholding their 2020 guidance as they look. They're trading up today 1.3%, and they will open at a new 52-week high also. Yeah.
Sometimes you withhold guidance because, hey, people, this gold mine can't last forever, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's look. I forgot time for two more. I've got the entertainment. I won't say entertainment, but the recreational marketplace. So we have two different subjects here. We got Polaris, which they make recreational vehicles. They make the water vehicles. They make the Forerunners, that type of stuff. They came in. They came in a little more than double what was expected on earnings per share. Revenue was above forecast. They had a 57% increase in their North American retail sales. So they've been, a benefactor of the COVID-19. People need to do something, and they're buying more and more of these. As well as I heard this morning, boat dealers are having a significantly great year so far.
So I hear, yeah.
So Polaris is up a little over 5.5%, opening almost at their 52-week high, just shy about $1.
Cool.
And then the last one I have for you is Harley Davidson.
Uh-oh.
Dog.
Save it for last time, never an optimist.
They had an unexpected loss, a huge loss, as a matter of fact. They lost 60 cents a share. They were expected to make a profit of 4 cents a share. So a pretty drastic miss for them. Not sure what other than the pandemic has hurt them. They're trading down today 3.5%.
Well, poop. Given the fact that I'm from Wisconsin, I always cheer for Harley, even though I've never owned one. Resetting the table this morning, green day yesterday on Wall Street, 0.5% or so on the Dow and the S&P, a 1 2/3% increase on the NASDAQ yesterday. When you have a big up day, it's hard to keep the momentum going. 45 minutes early. How are we looking this morning, Phillip?
Dave, we're giving it back a little bit, but I will say that the futures are improving somewhat. The Dow was down over 200 points when I first started looking. Now it's down about $97. We got the S&P 500 down 0.3, and the NASDAQ's right there with it, down about 0.3. So everything's going to open up. It looks like to me in the red as far as the indexes go. Looking at the gold and silver, we've got silver down 2% to almost $24. Gold, I believe, hit an all-time high yesterday. It is up 0.1% to $1,933 an ounce. Crude oil down 0.5%, $41.38 a barrel as we get ready to kick off the day.
Man, crude oil is about where it was yesterday at this time. I was kind of waiting for your reaction on gold because it just slammed through $1,900 an ounce, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. And silver last week had a great week last week. So it's going to be interesting to continue to watch those.
I hear you. Mixed bag on the Asian rim overnight when they closed, down a little bit in Japan, up a little bit in Hong Kong. European markets are off, but fractionally midway through their day. Phillip, one day up, one day down. The day traders got to go crazy. That's not the way to plan a retirement anyway. How do I get a hold of you to help plan a stable retirement?
Definitely not the way to plan a retirement. Give us a call at 863-382-0037, and let's schedule your financial x-ray. Make sure that you're on the right path for your retirement. Give us a call at 863-382-0037. Follow us on Facebook. Just look at Statler Financial Services. You'll find us. Follow us there. Join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730.
Alrighty, and back here again tomorrow morning on Light FM. Phillip, thank you so much. Welcome back, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. You have a great day.
Appreciate it. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler. Wait.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. And hey, if you need anything, please give me a call. That's what I'm here for, to help you through these trying times. Check and make sure your portfolio is where it needs to be. Give me a call at 863-382-0037. Have a great day. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow.